Hey, this is Brie Girl Non Sure. I'm sitting here in my backyard, but I'm on a phone call with Kelsey Zondervan. This is
How's it going, JP?
doing pretty well. I just woke up not too long ago, so I feel a little rusty with the words I say, but that's fine, whatever, right?
That's okay.
Um, but yeah, I just figured I'd have you on the pod um, because we're good. We had a lot of memories together back in the day. Um, we share a lot of the same experiences. And I think you're an awesome person. So I figured,
Oh,
you know, to have you on the pod.
right back at you.
Hey, thanks. Um, I wrote down what's our first memory together? Just what's your first
Hmm.
memory of meeting me? And I'll try to answer the question to it when you're done.
Well, before I even had a face to your name, I knew Michaela before you. And
Oh yeah?
Michaela was the talk of camp, and I don't know how it got around, but all the guys wanted her, and somehow I knew that you wanted her too, and all this stuff and everything. And I remember she was talking about going down to the beach with you one night, and that all went really, really well. And then the rest is kind of history. And I don't remember the context of first meeting you, but I was like, oh, that's JP, that's Michaela's JP. And then kind of as the summer went on and once Nui started and you were on the Nui crew, that's when we really became friends and kind of hit it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's remember I was just talking about the cat thing.
Yeah.
One of the cats just showed up. I
Oh,
gotta
good.
go let him in. For the people listening, the cats ran away and they just showed up. But I just let one back in the house, so it's like catching fish.
One down, one to go. Yes.
Exactly. But oh my gosh, that's crazy because I was just thinking like, oh, we must like I really wasn't running through it in my head of how it worked out. But I forgot you guys got hired midsummer, and so but we were kind of on different departments, and like we didn't overlap, and then didn't really meet each other until more so when the summer ended, or like a little bit into
Yeah.
like the close to the end of summer when everybody started merging with the Nui group, the Nui 20 group.
Exactly. Once it started winding down, and my crew, what, the five of us or something, we had nothing to do all summer because the tour just kept getting postponed and postponed. And then, when it
Yeah.
finally got kicked off with a bigger crew, that's when we started to become friends and everything.
Dude, and everybody was so salty from the summer camp because you guys were getting like paid by the Nui company wage,
Yeah.
and everybody during summer, I don't even remember how much we were making, but it definitely wasn't. I think you guys were making like double. So everybody was like,
Yeah.
these guys,
I mean,
like,
I wanted to be in Hawaii, but if I was getting paid what the summer crew was getting paid, I don't even know if I would have moved out there.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I 100% hear you out there. Like that is like there could have been any other job, but that's the place to do it. So,
Yeah.
you know. Um, yeah, that's crazy. My first memory of you, I feel like it's at Battle Challenge or, something like that. And what team are you on again? I forget. You're like Hakina, I feel like.
Yeah, I was the yellow one.
Yeah, the yellow one. That's fun. I was on Hema.
Yeah. Was that blue?
Yeah, it's blue. Honestly, when I first got to camp, I wanted the red team because
Oh,
of
really?
Nebraska.
Of
But
course.
over time, I became more of a fan of the blue team. And actually, as a blue team captain, I'm undefeated. So,
Yeah, everybody hated the blue team because you guys, it felt like you were the only one that would ever win. That
yeah,
summer, it was 8 out of 10 weeks, the blue team won. It was so stupid. Your team was stacked.
yeah. Well, when I started in 2019, it did not feel that way. But hey, we'll take it.
It all worked out for you.
Exactly. Um, I was talking to Michaela, and she's like, when you mentioned the Battle Challenge teams, I said like they were named after the Hawaiian values, and I meant to
Yeah.
say directions, but I just never thought about it, and I went back. But yeah, it's just like they're named after I'm just clarifying for Michaela's sake. They're named after the Hawaiian directions.
There you
Um,
go.
how did you end up at Camp Erdman?
So kind of similar to how I ended up in Montana, actually. I had done seasonal stuff before,
Hmm.
and I really wanted to just kind of wind down and find more of a stable job. So I was working at an insurance agency, actually, and I really hated it because the older I get, the more I realize I just should not have a corporate job. But I had actually gotten a job in New York, and we were gonna like travel all summer and go out west with like a group of I don't know, middle schoolers and high schoolers or something. And I had like signed and I was planning on going out there. And just the person that I am, I just kept looking, just
Hmm.
always pulling up cool work, seeing what's out there. And I saw that Camp Erdman was hiring this like tour program, NUI program, whatever it was called. And
Yeah.
I just quick applied, and same day Crump called me and set up an interview, and she pretty much hired me on the spot. And I was like, you know what, I've been out west, to Rocky Mountain National Park and arches and all this stuff. I was like, I'm going to Hawaii. So I like literally in a matter of like a week I changed my plans and booked a flight to Hawaii and went out there.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a cool way of doing it. Because you've been like, what was your life like before Erdman? Like, what you worked in Catalina Island, I remember seeing, and you grew up in Michigan.
Yeah, I grew up in Michigan. During college, I did a summer in Colorado. I did a summer in Yosemite. I did a win right after college. I went to Alaska, and that's kind of like when COVID hit and I got laid off. And then I went to like LA and Catalina Island area, and my life just kind of like totally flipped around on Catalina Island. I just like got into a lot of stuff I shouldn't have been getting into. So
Oh
that's when
yeah.
I moved back home for kind of like a reset and tried to just settle down a little bit, but it just wasn't the time for me. I wanted to keep traveling, so Hawaii was next on the list.
Yeah. Um, you're from Kalamazoo, Michigan, right?
Kalamazoo, yes sir.
I haven't even ever seen it like on the mitten. Like on a, where in the mitten is that?
We're like kind of southeast. My house where I grew up is like a half hour from Lake Michigan. So it's not like a small town. It's not as big as like Detroit or anything. I think it's maybe like the fourth largest in Michigan. So, not huge, but not big. We do have like a D1 college there and stuff. So always lots to do and everything. But for some reason, Michigan locals really hate on Kalamazoo. But I like Kalamazoo.
Yeah, I mean it's your hometown, you gotta love
Yeah, I gotta love it.
it. What would you describe your like childhood like you're back in your prime?
I think I had a great childhood. My parents are still together. They were always around. My mom worked at my high school. I was a staff brat, so very close with her growing up. I'm the youngest of four siblings, so I was spoiled.
Yeah. What do you have, like two brothers, two sisters, something? I don't
My
know.
brother's the oldest, and then there's two sisters in between my brother and I, and we're all pretty close. We go by twos, so like I'm 27, my sister's 29, 31, and then 33.
Oh, nice. I'm an
Yeah.
Irish triplet, and my sister's birthday was like 2 days ago, and
Oh, cute.
so she's 29 now. But usually it's like 26, 27, 28. But she just turned 29, and then our it goes April, May, June. So my sister's birthday, my brother's birthday, my birthday.
Nice.
We're 13 months apart. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, parents are getting to
Parents were
work.
busy. Yes.
Exactly. Um, what's well, like, what was your biggest fear growing up? Like, heights, whatever may have you. Like, did you have like something that kind of spooked you that you kind of grown out of?
I mean, I would always call my dad for like the smallest spider that I saw in the bathroom. But I have
Yeah.
kind of grown out of that. I don't know. I always wanted to do something like big when I was a kid. Like I wanted to be a pop star all until I was like 13 years old. And I
Yeah.
guess like I always kind of feared that I would end up in a corporate job, but the older I got, I was like, oh, that's just the reality, Kelsey. That's just the way life is. You got to make money somehow and stuff. But
No way. The other
now,
cat.
yeah,
Yeah, seriously, the other cat. We've secured. Okay, so sorry, but you can keep going. They
no,
both.
you're good. I'm glad you found him.
I know. Go inside. Yes. Okay. Both cats are home. All right.
Oh, good.
That's huge.
I don't know,
Anyway,
what was I saying? Yeah, I guess I didn't really want to end up in a corporate job, but I thought that was just inevitable. But after doing all the seasonal stuff, you've kind of come to realize you got a lot of options out there. And now I'm in a job I love, and I kind of see myself being out here forever, and I wouldn't call this a corporate job, so living the dream.
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. What's your biggest fear during our Camp Erdman days?
Biggest fear in Camp Erdman? Probably centipedes.
Yeah, yeah.
Or,
Honestly, yeah, 100%. I had a scorpion sting me, but I heard that like that didn't hurt as bad. I'm sure in the moment it was awful, but in the mindset of like the way that people reacted to the centipedes, like I think you're right. Like it's pretty spooky. Then if you
yeah.
crawl across. I was in the shower once actually in the cabins when I was a counselor, and I was like taking a shower in the cabin, and I think all the kids were at the fire pit, and I had a break or something,
Mm.
and I just looked down at my leg, like from the drain, a centipede crawled out, and he's crawling up my leg, and I'm
Oh
like,
my word.
at first I just swat at my leg because I feel like there's a bug on me, and I
Yeah.
look down, and it's just like gripping into my skin, but not it hasn't bit me yet. So
Good grief.
I
Yeah, I'd probably
swatted it off my
scream.
leg. You remember how tiny those showers are at Camp Erdman?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I had nowhere to go, but I just like threw my towel on and I sprinted outside of that
I was so
shower.
blessed, at least my first summer, to have Anna Wood as my roommate. She like kept a pair of scissors hanging right at the door, and if we saw something, you just call her,
Yeah,
she'd chop it up and get rid of it for you.
burn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a great answer for biggest fear during Camp Erdman. What about
Uh,
now? Are you have any current like fears you're trying to overcome in life? Something more new?
I mean, I don't know, maybe this one's a little more personal, but I'm still a single Pringle. I guess I fear I'm never gonna get married and have kids and all this stuff.
Oh, you'll find somebody.
I'll
Everybody
find somebody.
everybody does. Just comes at different times.
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good luck on that. I,
Thank you.
how much, what's the dating scene like out in you know, in Missouri River Ranch?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not really doing my diligence of looking.
Are there a lot of people or is it like kind of, I feel like it's a tiny community. I don't know anything, really.
Where the ranch is, we're maybe, I don't know if you've heard of Helena, Montana. That's the capital. We're
Yeah.
probably like a 30-45 minute drive from there. So Helena is pretty populated. It's not huge. It's honestly not what I would have expected being the capital of Montana. It is still pretty small. But our little fishing town of Craig, Montana, where the ranch is located, there are a lot of guys, but I don't know, I've got pretty high standards. They're all the kind of guys that they're out getting drunk at the bar every night, trying to pick up every little chick that's in town. So I'm just
Yeah.
looking for more of a man that's ready to settle down.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Some guy that knows his Kelsey and Kelsey knows this guy.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Um, what was your most recent memory of us together? What do you last? Because I left May of 2023, but I think you stuck around, huh? Camp?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say it's the truck. Buying your truck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole story in itself. Every car I've
Yeah.
owned in Hawaii is not not running still. Cam
Oh
Cam
God.
bought my I just when I left I moved there again for 2024 I think
Mm,
2025 and Cam bought my me and Michaela's Toyota Matrix and then it got
nice.
flooded at the
Oh,
because of the
yep.
floods.
I saw pictures. Oh, it's just crazy.
Yeah, but the truck that you got from me, what happened? The front axle rolled
Yeah,
off.
man. I took a couple of the girls. We were on a lunch break. We were just gonna go to town. I don't even remember where we were going, just to get food. And we were on our way back, kind of on like I don't know, coming back from Haleiwa. We took like the back way,
Yeah,
kind of on that beachfront. And they were sitting in the bed of the truck. It was just me driving. And all of a sudden, that driver's side front wheel like just rolls out from under the car and I can see it cutting across the road and
did the passenger side
obviously
stay on?
Yeah, passenger side stayed on, but it just like a big slam, and I'm like looking back, checking on the girls in the back. They were fine, but they could hear the scraping more than I could. I had music going and stuff, and it was like definitely something's going on. I called
Yeah.
Eric, and he came and rescued us, but that was the end of our cutie little red truck.
Dude, I honestly, you never can predict. Well, I'm not a mechanic. Somebody could have predicted it, but
Yeah.
that's crazy. But it lasted at least like 3 months, 4 months, right?
Yeah, 3 or 4 months. What's so dumb is I had like just taken it to get like, I don't know, an oil change or the inspection or something
Yeah, just
literally
had
like
some guy
two
look
days
at it.
ago. Yeah, and I mean it's like it's not their job, I think it was just like a Jiffy Lube or something just to change the oil or something. It's not their job to check the whole thing over. But
Yeah.
you would think if it's that big of a problem, they might have noticed something.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that the mechanic, also because like I had no intentions of that happening to you. I just
No,
was leaving
I
the
don't
island.
blame you one bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great truck.
Yeah, I love driving her for as much as I did. You can put all the surfboards in the back, and
Yeah.
I have some pictures. There's like 8 people and like 8 surfboards in the back of that truck, and it's just amazing how how much you can fit back there.
Yeah. I grew up, my grandpa had the same exact truck in Nebraska when I was a child. That was the first
Yeah,
stick shift type of truck I drove. So it's cool that I got that truck. And then now I just got a Ford Ranger 2011.
nice.
So
Oh yeah,
yeah, I'm just kind of keeping it in the family, you know what I mean?
I like it. It's probably fun to drive around there.
It is, yeah. I got a topper in the back and I camp in it. Well, I haven't
Nice,
really camped in it, but I did on my road trip here. So that was good.
nice.
But yeah, it's a good truck.
Great truck.
What are you driving right now?
My third Toyota Corolla.
Oh yeah? Your
I
third?
that's Yeah, I had one in college. I had one when I was where was I? Oh, in Colorado, and now we're back with the old Toyota Corolla.
Oh
They
yeah?
are my one reliable car. I've had so many cars. I've had a Jeep, that truck. I had a van at one point, and they all break down. So these are the
Yeah.
one cars that that don't do that.
Hey,
I
that's what
would
they
like
say about
to get a
Toyota.
truck, but yeah, exactly.
You can get a Tacoma.
That's what I want. Yeah, we're saving up.
Yeah, heck yeah, that's awesome. I'm like, yeah, that's like your Corolla is my Ford Ranger.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. What's a place you've been that's had the biggest impact on your life, do you think?
It's probably Catalina Island, and I don't know if it was impact necessarily for good. I think in the long run it was for good, but I just learned so much about myself and, just the ways of life. I feel like it kind of changed my views on life and stuff. I got into quite a bit of trouble on Catalina Island,
Where
but
did
that's
you live in
why
Avalon?
I lived in Avalon, yeah.
That's cool. I can see Catalina Island right now. My
Yeah, that's
naked eye.
awesome.
But yeah, what did you do there? What was your job?
I first came out there and I was like, the company I worked for owned 3 different retail stores on the island. I came out as like their sales lead and was eventually one of their buyers. And then I ended up kind of getting to know some people there that worked at the tour company. So then I ended up getting a job as a ticket agent slash like tour guide driver, and I did some like informational tours in some of the more historic buildings too, which I liked that job a little bit more. So I was like maybe a year at the first one, and then like not quite a year, maybe like 9 months in the second job before I left.
Yeah. How much were you paying rent out there? I assume you didn't get housing with the
The
job.
the the job I moved out for did provide housing. Um,
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah. And then kind of as I established myself out there, I ended up um, renting a bedroom, moving in with a guy that had an apartment there. He was like a 60-year-old man, but housing is
I was
so
about to say, did you
competitive
find your guy?
on the island. Yeah.
No.
No, he was great. He really took care of me. He would tell me some like crazy stories about how he used to like live in the Playboy Mansion and all this stuff, but he was
Interesting.
very nice to me. He never tried anything, so
Yeah, that's funny. Well, and that was in Avalon.
yep. Mhm.
Nice. Because you can't really live anywhere else than Avalon, right? It's all just kind of nature preserve or something.
Yeah, the backside of the island, it's called Two Harbors. There's like it's almost like glamping, like there's some tents and cabins and stuff, but it's really just like the people that maintain that side of the island that live over there. So,
Yeah. Did you ever meet Taylor from um that summer 2022?
no, I don't think I did.
There was a
I
lot of
feel
people
it.
that worked there, but she lived on Catalina and some summer camp out there. I think there's a summer camp on the island.
Yeah, there are like kind of some of the different bays. Like you can really only get there if like you kayak or take a boat, or I
Yeah.
guess if you want to hike. But there's not like a road that goes there. But I think I know what you're talking about. There's a couple different camps there.
Yeah. And Jackson was telling me that Matt worked south on the island right now at
Yeah,
some
he
camp.
does. Actually, when was it? Was it last year? I think last year, January or something. I was in LA for a wedding, and just took the ferry over to Catalina Island just to kind of reminisce. And we were on the same boat, Matt and I.
Was
And
it
that was
the
like his
what
first day moving to the island.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
sick, dude. What ferry? Was it the Flyer?
Yeah, it was out of where'd we go out of? Long Beach. So the
Oh,
Catalina
okay.
Express. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Flyer, my roommate works on the Catalina Flyer, so he works on
Nice.
it.
That's cool.
Yeah. But out of Long Beach, pretty cool. Did you ever go back to the mainland and hang out on you know, in
Yeah, we would. I had a buddy that like parked, he paid for parking, like it's so expensive. I thought about bringing a car out there, but paying for parking in LA is crazy. But he kept
Mhm.
his car parked there, so you can literally walk there from the dock in Long Beach. And we would go over to LA pretty often and just kind of, you know, paint the town red.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah,
That was
that's cool.
fun.
Um, what's like the biggest culture shock you've had in like all these places you've lived? What was the biggest moment?
I don't
Culture
know.
shock.
I mean, it's Alaska was crazy, just like everybody's way of life was so slow. And if you know me at all, I'm like always moving, always fast paced, and like very impatient person.
Yeah.
I just always want to go on to the next thing. So kind of getting used to that, and like if a tour starts at 9:30, oh, it's starting at 10, and that's just kind of a thing that happens.
Yeah.
And I remember in Alaska, actually like my first day there, I could not stop throwing up. I threw up like 25 times all over my brand new bedroom. And so they were driving me, we were trying to meet the ambulance halfway because it was like 2 hours from the closest hospital. And I'm like throwing up in the back seat. And at one point, they pull over, they see a dead moose on the side of the road, and they're like, we should real quick put this in the bed of the truck, you know? It's
You're
like
like, that's
just,
gonna make me throw up more.
yeah,
Dead
exactly.
moose.
So, yeah, just, it's all about just getting meat to fill your freezer and just taking times real slow up there in Alaska.
Oh my gosh. My buddy was asking the other day, like, how did they get alcohol out there? And I was like, that's actually really, I mean, obviously now today, like you just ship it. But back in the
Yeah,
day, he was like wondering if they drank because it's so hard to like I actually
they
don't know.
definitely drink, I can say that.
Yeah.
Probably have
Okay.
a deal with Canada or something.
Yeah, probably. It's probably exact. It's just trade.
Yeah.
That's funny. Um, what's a major accomplishment you've had since spring 2023?
Since spring 2023. I mean, I don't know if it's anything major, but I'm just really proud of the life that I've kind of built here in Montana. I just love the job I have. I feel like the people I work with, they really rely on me in some aspects, and I think that feels kind of good. I don't want to butter my butt or anything like that. I'm really not that important. But this has kind of been our first opening week. We have guests on Monday. So it's just kind of felt pretty good to, just have the answer to everybody's questions and feel like I'm somebody that they can confide in and learn from. So I just really love my job here. So
Yeah, you said first opening week. You guys, where is it like wintertime, kind of slow or something?
yeah, we close during the winter, actually. I mean, fishing on the river is great year round, but nobody wants to come up and fish in the 12 feet of Montana snow. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What would you say the ranch is most well known for? Like what events? Like weddings or fishing, you said, or like any other
Yeah.
maybe like a corporate event?
Really, we don't really do many events. We're a fly fishing ranch, so it's really just fly fishing. We're right on the Missouri River, like the best stretch of river you could fish out there. And that's what people come for. We're all inclusive. They get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but for the majority of the day, they're out there on the mow fishing. And again, yeah, that's what we're known for. So.
Wow. That seems like so chill and laid back.
It is, and we have a small staff. There's only 13 guest rooms, so we don't ever have too many people at a time, and can really get to know all the guests pretty personally. Like 65% of our guests come back every single year, so seeing familiar faces every year, it's really fun.
Yeah. Are you good at fly fishing?
I wouldn't say I'm good, but I do fly fish. I have a lot to learn, but I do really enjoy it.
You're
So.
probably much better than I am. I've never even thought like attempted it. I've always just fished.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's kind of
Yeah.
fun to challenge yourself, and there's so much to learn and all these different flies you can tie, and if the weather's like this, if the wind is like this, you should use this fly and this stuff. And I'm not
Yeah.
very knowledgeable with that stuff. I just let somebody set up my rod and then I cast it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
There you
I
go.
mean, I grew up in Nebraska and we just had like ponds that were just off the beaten path next to a field and there
Yeah,
wouldn't be any fish that that would catch our bait if we were to fly fish.
right.
Um,
Yeah.
just a classic worm on a hook.
Hmm.
Uh, but whenever I went over to Colorado and like as a kid, I'd see like the people in the little off the bridge in the riverbed standing there in their boots fly fishing. I was always curious by it. So
It's a good
yeah,
time. It is. But just get regular fishing is fun too. Whatever you can get, right?
yeah. And I'm sure they got loads of that out there too. People bring their other pole.
Yeah, they do. They get judged, but they do.
Oh yeah, that's funny. If you were to start a business tomorrow, what would you solve, build, or sell?
Oh my word.
I know
I
it's
have
a big
no,
one.
I've never really had a desire to build my own business. Um, but just something that, lets people experience stuff that they're not going to experience in everyday life and just make a life lasting memory. Something like that, whether it's guiding like backcountry trips or fishing trips, or like even like one of my biggest highlights from Camp Erdman is when we led that, I don't know if you were there, we led a blind group through the ropes course.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
there.
and that was like the most rewarding thing ever. I still think about it sometimes. Like, where else are they ever gonna do that and have like our staff, you guys did so great, just so patient, and they all just loved it and just their beaming smiles, like something they'd never ever experienced before. That just totally warms my heart.
Yeah, I think I was on the crew with you with a blind
Yeah,
group.
I specifically remember Cody just because he was so nervous, but he ended up doing such a good job. And I was just so proud of him.
Dude, Cody could walk mouse into a mousetrap with his words.
Yeah.
Cody's just a good talker. He's good at
Yes, he is.
especially like that blind group and like being on the ropes course. Like he's just he's just got like easy, soothing voice for it.
Yeah, he killed it. He did a great job. You all did.
Cody's from Nebraska.
Yeah, he is. You guys still keep in touch?
Yeah, he's we got our Snapchat streak going.
Nice.
He lives I don't he lives up in the mountains here, like uh right behind LA. I think Big
Really?
Bear. Because he got the job with Val at one point out here.
Yeah, I did remember hearing about that. I saw that on her Instagram.
Yeah. So he comes down to Laguna Beach and he's probably gonna come down here today. I'm not, like I think he wrote or messaged me that, but I got work this afternoon.
Oh,
But yeah,
shoot.
we're trying to link up here soon and just have a beach day.
Yeah, that'd be so fun. Is Val still around too?
Yeah, Val's from here, so I think she's not at the same camp as Cody is anymore. I think she's at a different camp, but it's probably like less than an hour away from Cody
Nice. Pretty
up
close.
near
Yeah.
those mountains. Yeah. So I mean, I got to reach out to Val too. It's been a while, but um, I just remember when the Dodgers won, and I was sitting at the hallways. Most recently, like 2024, she was stoked. She's a big Dodgers fan.
Oh yeah, she would tell me stories about like her and her dad going to those games growing up and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So good on them. But I've surrounded myself with a lot of Angels fans, so I'm
While
kind
we're
of.
talking sports, I just got to shout out Michigan's college basketball team for winning the
Oh yeah,
NCAA this year. That was so fun. Nobody in Montana cared, but I really cared. That was so fun.
Michigan played Nebraska during the regular season, and Nebraska was 20-0, and Michigan was also, I think, undefeated, or maybe I don't know, maybe they weren't, but I'm pretty sure they were undefeated at the time, and they'd snapped Nebraska's undefeated 20-0 winning streak, and
Oh,
so
yeah. Yeah, they
I'm
did.
not upset that they won the national championship. Nebraska made it to the Sweet 16 for the first time in school history. Nebraska won a tournament game for the first time in school history as well. So,
Wow, see, there you go. Moving
yeah,
up.
exactly. Big
Love it.
Ten's killing it right now. Big Ten's
Yeah,
the conference to be in.
yes, they are. They're doing great in all sports.
Yeah. Okay. I have a question of if money's not a problem, the lottery scenario. What are you doing? Where are you going? What have
Oh
you?
my word. I mean, I'd probably buy a house. I'd get myself out of debt, and then I'd buy a house right here in Craig, Montana. And I would buy a beautiful Orvis fishing pole and a great drift boat. And I would buy a dog or maybe two, probably a black lab and a setter. I'd I don't know if this is allowed, but I'd love to send some to my family, let my parents pay off their house, but just
Yeah,
live the
money does it.
dream.
You would do whatever you
Yeah,
want.
take some time off and become a better fly fisher woman and train my dogs up to maybe do some bird hunting for me and just relax for a while.
There you go. I love it. I uh I like that answer. Paying off a house and getting that squared away. I mean, and then
Yeah,
that's like the goal. That's
that's the goal.
I like that. That's a little short, sweet, great answer.
The road that the ranch is on, there's like four houses. It's the ranch, and then you go 3 miles, there's another house, and then you go 3 more miles, and there's another house, and that's pretty much it. But there's one house on that road, just again like 2 or 3 miles from our ranch, that has been for sale since I moved to Montana, and I would buy that house right there.
What are they running it for? How much?
I don't know. It just says for sale. I've tried to look it up
Yeah.
online. I can't find it. I have to like call the number. But I know I can't afford it, so I haven't
Yeah.
looked too much into it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. I wonder if we'll ever be able to like reasonably afford a home in our lifetime.
I know. I hope so.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I wonder if wages will ever, minimum wage used to like cover a family of four.
I know. It's crazy. Can you imagine?
I know. It's like nuts. Minimum wage should cover a family of four again.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Um, what's a bucket list thing that you have coming up? What's next? Like, I'm sure you have a big bucket list, but there's got to be one attainable one that's like it's on the rise. It's coming up.
Well, I mean, you said it was attainable. I didn't. I think number one up there is I really just want to get married and have a family. I feel like Montana is home. I have wanted to find a place that has felt like home to kind of, I've had so many jobs. I want to stop kind of moving around at this point. I'd love to still travel for, a few weeks at a time, but number one is just get married and have a family.
There you go. Any places you want to go like out of the country?
Well, I know you guys were just there. I've still always wanted to go to Australia.
Yeah, it was awesome. You got to check out
I'm sure
Byron
it
Bay.
was. Byron Bay. Okay. Is that anywhere near Sydney? Is that on the other side?
No, it's on the East Coast. It's not
Okay.
near Sydney though. It's like
Gotcha.
8 hours away from Sydney.
Everything's real spread out in Australia. I forget about
Yeah.
that.
It's like an hour from Gold Coast. So really, really close to if you want to fly into Brisbane or Gold Coast, it's a quick drive.
Okay.
Much quicker drive, I should say.
Did you guys do much like surfing and stuff while you were there?
Um, Michaela went on a surf lesson with her friends one day. I did not, but
Nice.
there's just always sharks and stuff in the ocean, like visibly out
Real,
there.
more so than Hawaii.
Oh yeah, and like I went to Sydney one day with Michaela, and there was a 3-day stretch where there's a shark attack. There was like Or no, there's a 2 day stretch where there's 3 shark attacks.
Oh my word. Well, I wanted to go to Australia for
Um,
the surfing, so maybe I don't anymore.
yeah, I mean, and then they have these blue bottles that are like jellyfish, and they'll just be floating on the coast. Like, just you touch it,
Great.
oh, they're just like not good. Like, you get, I don't know, there's just everything out there, it can get you. And maybe
Yeah.
I just saying like maybe I might be a little bit of a wussy, but I was like, I don't want to get bitten by a shark or
Yeah.
so I didn't really surf much. But I went into the ocean and just stayed shallow. And I was like, I would ride the waves, big wave would come in and you just body surf it. That was my
Yeah,
cup
and
of
that's
tea.
fun too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I have the snorkel and yeah, it was just that's where I kind of vibed with. I did
Did some shelling.
yeah, I tried. Michaela found a cowrie shell there, which is very rare. But
Nice.
we
She
were
would
just
too. If anyone's gonna find it, it's her.
I know. We were just sitting at this one beach, and she just looks down, and it's a really gross old one. But she picks it up, and we were like, no way. So we walked up and down that beach for the next hour and a half, and that was the only cowrie shell within the whole entire ocean. I don't know at that moment.
Wow. What luck. She was probably stoked.
Yeah, we had not seen one in Australia like that. Actually, I take that back. We did see one. I did find one in Australia. So.
Oh,
But they were super rare. So it was, every other shell in the world was easy to find.
nice.
But yeah, um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Australia, Byron Bay, Australia. I was it's a hoot, but yeah, it's just not a big surfing guy myself.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's a surf town. It's the most easterly point of Australia. Um,
It's probably gorgeous. Yeah.
yeah, it is gorgeous. They have a cool lighthouse walk you can go up. And the busking scene, which is people that just play music on the street.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fun.
super well known for that. Most famous Australian musicians do a concert or two in Byron Bay.
Nice.
It's just a tourist hotspot, kind of like
Mm.
Haleiwa,
Okay, yeah.
describe it. But yeah, that I think you'd love it if you ever go back or if you ever go down there. Byron Bay is a spot.
Yeah. Good to know.
Yeah. And then that's what I was gonna say. I snorkeled the Great Barrier Reef, so I'm not technically a wussy, but because there was a hurricane coming in. There was a hurricane, and they didn't know if they should call it off or not, and it was like super cloudy. But oh man, that was so cool. There's a clam in the ocean that was about the size of a car tire, and
Holy crap.
this guy swiped his hand through the clam's mouth, and all of a sudden the clam's mouth is shut closed, and he got his hand up
Ooh.
before the worst case. But
Yeah.
yeah, that clam was huge. I was like, how does that thing even move like that? But it does.
Yeah, Great Barrier Reef is definitely something I would want to do too.
Yeah, you gotta, especially if you're there. There's more
Yeah.
things I'd love to do, but me and Michaela just kind of just we saw Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Cairns, and the Great Barrier Reef, and everything on the East Coast on like long car drives and long trips.
Mm.
But just it's like going across the states. It's like seeing the entire East Coast of the U.S. and then being like, oh, now I want to see L.A. and San Francisco
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
Seattle. Luckily, Australia doesn't have that much in the middle. So,
Yeah, you're right.
but
There, even when I was in Hawaii, I had reached out to this company like several times. I had a job offer from them at one point, but it was in Perth
oh
out
yeah,
there. So I don't know. I've always been curious to see that too.
I was really hoping to run into Darby and Jasper while I was out there, but they lived out in Perth.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't thought about them in a while.
I know Darby and Jasper, classic boys. For the people that don't know, they were volunteers at Camp Erdman, and they didn't get paid or nothing. They just showed up and hang out with their friend Eric, and they lived at camp probably for what, 2 months?
Yeah, about that. And they showed me a thing or two on the surfboards too. I owe a lot of them and Eric. I pretty much owe all my surf knowledge to.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I had my rough go around actually with surfing out in the North Shore where I got kook slammed my second time going around on a 12
Yeah,
foot wave.
that'll do it.
But I think I hopped on a board with those boys, I think once. But mainly we just went shelling all the time with the
Yeah.
snorkels. Good guys. I miss those guys.
Yeah,
I wish
they
I
were
could
fun.
link up with them at some point. But next time in Australia, I guess.
There you go. Gives you a reason to go back.
Exactly. You have any other places that you might want to visit?
I mean, I've never seen Europe. It'd be cool to go around there a little bit.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm definitely going to do this year is a Canadian road trip. So see Banff and all those big national parks up there. Being in Montana, I'm like, well, a 3 or 4 hour drive away from Canada, and I've still never been to Canada. So we are checking that off the list this year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Canada. I've actually never been to Canada myself. I've been to Canada Airwaves because I did a road trip. There's like this town called Port Angeles in
Okay.
northern Washington, like right up there on the most northeast point you can get in Washington. And me and my boys drove from Nebraska up there.
Yeah,
That's
you
fun.
were basically there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, welcome to Canada. And I'm like, okay, I'll count it. But no, I won't count it. I want to actually go up there. Michaela did a little trip up to Canada. It looks like
Yeah,
fun.
she was in Glacier National Park at the same time that I was last year, and I texted her, and I don't know, we never ran into each other. It was just wasn't like good timing, so because she was with friends and I was with friends and stuff, find a time to meet up. But we were in Glacier at the same time, and then she went up to Canada and I went back down to Helena. So
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't even know if I've been. I think I've been to Glacier. Where's Glacier? Can remind me. That's in
it's
Montana?
half in Montana, half in Canada. So
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've
that
actually. I
northern
think I
part.
drove through it really quick, but
And it's
dude, that
gorgeous
road
if you get
trip.
the chance. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that road trip that I'm talking about, where I went up there and did all that, was nuts. We went from Nebraska, on like a Thursday, and we got back to Nebraska like 5, 6 days later, and we just drove. We never stopped driving. We camped a few nights, 3 nights of the 6. But we were just driving. We were like going straight to California. So we got to the redwoods and then we went straight up north on the west coast, PCH, and
Yeah.
then we drove across through Montana and Wyoming and South Dakota, Idaho, whatever, all the way back to Nebraska.
So gorgeous. Like you don't even really have to stop. It's just so entertaining seeing all the mountains and even the prairies on the side of the road. Oh, almost makes you cry.
Right? It's I wish we stopped. But
Yeah.
being in the car for 6 days straight, I was getting tired of that car. But yeah, you really don't have to stop. You really don't.
It's just stunning. Yeah.
We just had four of our high school buddies in the back of my brother's Jeep Patriot, or like in the just everybody. We rotated drivers and shotgun and whatever. It was a
You can
good trip.
imagine it smelled great in that car.
Oh man, I can't even sleep in a car, and let alone the smells that happen after 6 days. I don't even know if we showered. I'm sure we found a shower. Actually, we did. We found a shower
Oh, good.
in Washington. It was like just some YMCA gym. You pay $5 and you can go in
Yeah.
there and shower. And they didn't have like stall doors or walls or nothing like that. So me and my four buddies had to go in there and we're just like eyeballs and up. And then we were just watching.
Gotta do
Yeah,
what you gotta do there.
exactly. Yeah, it was a fun trip. That was a good time. I remember somewhere in Washington, we camped at a spot overnight and then we looked up the campsite for the next night. We drove 6 hours and it was one big loop. The road was a circle. We ended up at the
Oh,
same campsite. I was like,
oops.
dude, my buddy Alex, he got out of the car and he's like, "Hey, I think we've been here." He's like, "If there's a mirror on the ground over there, like a broken mirror," and I walk up, like, if I see that, I'm gonna be really mad. He walked over to the area. Sure enough, there was a broken mirror on the ground, and he just was like, he just yelled. He was like, "Ah!" And everybody was just, we were laughing at the same time, but yeah, it was a
Yeah,
real,
makes for a good story at the least.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a good time. It was fun. Now, what's bringing you the most peace right now?
The most peace.
Yeah.
I might have two answers for you. Um, Number one, just the Missouri River, man. I go out there at night pretty often, and I don't even bring a pole, just kind of sitting at the river. I was down there just a couple nights ago, just watching all the beavers swim around and just calling my mom. It's just after you have a long day, just hearing like the geese and everything, just the flow of the water, seeing the trout jump up. It's just so peaceful, kind of brings you back if you have a hectic day.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I just absolutely love that place and that river, and we're right on it where the ranch is. It's like a half-mile walk down there. So,
that's awesome. I
yeah.
grew up pretty close to the Missouri River. It's the
Yeah.
river that separates Iowa and Nebraska. And I'm
Oh,
like
but
30
it's
minutes
different
away
up
from it.
here in Montana.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not brown, and we call it the something dirty mo or something is what we call it.
Yeah, it's the Mighty Mo up here.
The mighty mo. Yeah, we got the brown one. Everybody's
It
all
is a
your
sport.
poops coming down the river. That's what we have. That's what we're working with. But
I got it a little bit better than you.
yeah, yeah, you do. You got clear water and nice fish.
Yeah, people will swim in it. It's faster than it looks. You got to be careful, but it's also a lot colder than it looks. But I have seen people swim in it, so.
Yeah. You said you had two answers. Well, what was their second?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, at the ranch, we just got a brand new manager this year. So it's kind of everything looks a lot different than last year, but he's just such a great guy and we get along so well. And kind of in comparison to the managers last year, like this new guy and I feel like we just share a lot of the same like beliefs and we view the world the same and we have like the same vision for the ranch and it's just it feels so good to just like be on the same page and just being able to talk with him about like my ideas very openly and not like fear judgment or getting fired or anything like that. That's extreme. I wouldn't get fired, but it's just bringing me a lot of peace surrounding just my employment security and all that stuff and we're just so blessed to have him. So
Well, that's good. It's always
yeah.
nice to have somebody you enjoy as your boss.
And not that I didn't enjoy the other people, but it's
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's just different.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
just tight. Somebody that you're like you can consider a friend almost, I assume.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yep.
exactly. It's nice to have that.
It is.
Well, that's cool. Michaela had me. She was talking to me the other day, and I told her I was interviewing you at some point, and she's like, you got to ask her about dog shelters, and I don't remember Kelsey in dog shelters that well. Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I guess you used to do run dog shelters. Is that a thing that happened?
I didn't. I'm not sure what she's talking about, but I dog sit a ton out here, and I actually just over this winter, because again we're seasonal. I worked at a vet clinic, so maybe she's like seen me post stuff on my stories of dogs, because I love dogs, as you know. Dogs are like my favorite thing ever.
Yeah,
So maybe that's what she's talking about.
maybe. Yeah, maybe it must be. Maybe I'm misquoting her, but I'm pretty sure that's what she said that you're doing dogs. Well, either way, you love dogs, and
I do.
that's awesome.
And
Um,
I learned a lot working at that vet clinic. I feel like I'm a better dog mom now, even though I don't have a dog. So
yeah, I wrote down you're a bit of a b-baller in your prime, right? You used to play
kind
basketball.
I played volleyball in college, but I worked for the basketball team in college, and at one point I did have a job with the Indiana Pacers and the Fever.
Oh,
So
really? That's
I
pretty
do
sick.
think, like in high school, I went such a small high school. We didn't even have enough girls interested to have a basketball team, so I never really played. I do feel like I have more natural talent in basketball than volleyball. Like if that had been my sport, I feel like I could have gone farther than I ever could have with volleyball. But I definitely enjoy it. So
Yeah, more maybe maybe I was looking at the ball wrong. I was looking at a photo that you posted. Like, I thought it was a basketball. Yeah, you played volleyball, and that's awesome. What position?
I was a hitter, so left side hitter.
Nice. You're good at spiking it.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Nice.
We would play a lot at Erdman, and
We
oh,
would.
Eric would always pick on me and stuff.
Oh yeah. You can get
I
competitive.
I think one of my, what did we call them? The Erdy Awards or something? Like the
Yeah, yeah.
not some
Ball
yeah, one
Erdies, something.
yeah, one of them is I got most likely to correct your volleyball form.
Oh yeah, that's funny. Mine was most likely to something with the truck. Like negotiate
Yeah.
it. Because I was trying to sell that thing. I was trying to get
Yeah.
anybody to buy it. And I was asking everybody, but you
I
locked
think
in.
that
And I was just,
year
yeah,
that year my Ernie was also most likely to own a truck and not drive it because I had so many problems.
yeah, yeah. It was the summer too, right?
Yeah.
What did you do during the summer without Nui?
What did we do? Oh, that's when
Because I
did
left.
you hear about the Central Branch much?
Oh yeah, I've heard you guys drove down there every day and became like ran the show.
Yeah, I ended up being the director of the Central Branch and I just hated it. That place was such a mess and it just felt like nothing was ever going to change, and I doubt it still has. But that's kind of what pushed me
Yeah,
out of Erdman is when I kind of took that over. Because I didn't want to be in Honolulu, I wanted to be
yeah,
more in like the countryside of Hawaii and Haleiwa and Wailua, and
for
so
sure.
I was not feeling it anymore, and that's kind of what pushed me out.
Yeah, me and Cam spent I was on the maintenance team most recently when I worked there, but me and Cam spent our time going to the Central to paint their bathrooms and paint their
Mm,
pillars, like that weird structure out front.
yeah.
And yeah, that place is oh, dude,
Yep.
the gym not having a roof,
Yeah, I
the
know.
pool not having
The
water.
racquetball courts, like, oh my word.
Yeah, I
And
remember
they really
hearing,
just wanted to run like the resident side. They didn't want to fix it up. And I was like, this is gross. We should fix it
did you
up.
did you ever meet Brett,
Brat. Yeah, I did.
Olivia's
Yeah.
boyfriend?
Mhm.
He had his friends or something come down and they stayed at the central branch, but it wasn't like they stayed in the rooms upstairs. They stayed like you go walk into the gym and there was this closet with the printer in it, like where the
Yeah.
ceilings were falling. Like
I know exactly what you're talking about. I set up air mattresses.
yeah, yeah. Well, isn't that nuts? That's a place that you could go and stay, but hey, if it's
I
free,
know.
if you want to stay in
Yeah,
Honolulu.
exactly. It's free, so there you go.
I just remember looking at that room and be like, I would be so scared to sleep in that room. But
I know. Such a mess.
um, yeah,
And
that's
that was like a scary place too. Like at one point I don't know, I think it was the FBI. They came in while I was behind the desk, and we have that bulletproof glass in front of the desk. Like you just know shady stuff happens there.
yeah, it's like a
They
Seven
needed
Eleven.
Right. They needed to like look at my cameras and stuff. I was like, do it. You don't need a warrant. Just look at my cameras. And they found like this guy. He was apparently a long-term resident, and he would chat with me all the time, this older guy, and they went upstairs and they found like two handguns stashed in there and all this coke and everything, and it was just crazy. They dragged him out on his butt, and yeah, that was a wild time.
Yeah, yeah, that place is a just a wild place.
I mean,
But
honestly, Honolulu is, you got to be careful in the city.
with good amount of money, that place
Yeah.
has a lot of potential. So like,
It's prime real estate. It's right across from the Ala Moana and stuff.
yeah,
So
and you can walk right to the ocean. It's right next to the boat harbor.
yeah.
It's a good location for it all. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. Do you have any questions for me? Anything any burning questions that you've been curious about myself? I probably have an answer.
Well, I know you're in California. I'm curious, like, if the radio thing takes off, is California where you guys want to stay, or do you eventually want to be like either in Colorado with Michaela or Nebraska back home? What's kind of your long-term plan there?
Well, me and Michaela are warm-bodied people. She moved back to Colorado after Australia, and she's like her first week there. She's like, it's so cold,
Oh,
and but so we're gonna plan. We're obviously gonna move back in together at some point. Hopefully by August is the plan. Um, I would ideally like her to move out here and join me here, but she's trying to decide if she wants to do that or if we should look into moving into South Carolina or Florida or
ooh, I can
somewhere
see that for
else.
you guys too. Yeah,
Yeah. But at the moment, no idea.
no
The
idea.
radio gig can follow me wherever. Um,
Hmm.
but the actual radio job and station cannot. So I'd have to really lock myself in that boat. It's a
Yeah.
radio desert here Costa Mesa and Orange County. If I wanted to work at a station, I'd have to drive all the way up to Hollywood and
Mm,
that downtown LA to actually sit in a booth that has a radio frequency broadcasting out of the building.
okay.
Um, that'd be cool. But it's about an hour drive right now, so I'm not too worried about it. Um, plus the podcast thing, if I'm cool with just doing that for the moment. Once
Yeah.
we get stable careers and like once we have a house together, that's about the time I want to sit down and work for the local radio station. It could be
Yeah.
anywhere. It could be whatever. I could be working some small town with 14 people in it. I would be happy as long as I'm getting paid and making the bills, on time. I could work
Yeah.
at a new radio station. But
I love it. You'd be so good at that, JP.
I appreciate it. Go in there, spin some music, and just say something here and there.
Yeah.
Easy.
And even if you're in South Carolina, you can talk Nebraska sports.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, read out around the world, as they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the big old situation with the me being here and me and Michaela trying to figure that out and the radio thing and what I'm trying to
Yeah.
whatever would have you.
Now, I know I'm not sure if it was a group text or if I just texted Michaela around this time last year, but I did want to get you guys out to the ranch. I offered you guys jobs. Is
You
that an
did.
absolute no that you would never do, or is there a sliver of hope there?
There's just sliver of hope, I'd say. I
Okay.
think in the moment, I don't remember. I was in the group chat. I was like,
Okay.
I was aware of this. But I think that was either when we were moving to Australia
I think so.
or,
Yeah, I think you're right.
at the time it was like we had our plan. Um, no idea though. I know that like Montana is probably a hard pass in the wintertime.
Yeah. Well, again, this is just a summer job, although we
Yeah.
did get snow last week.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. It's definitely gonna warm up out there, I bet.
Yeah.
Gets really hot in Nebraska. Dude, I bet it gets pretty hot up there, huh?
Yeah, it does. And it's very dry, a dry heat.
Yeah. I bet there's not much litter either. I bet it's pretty well
Yeah,
preserved nature.
up in Craig, right where the ranch is. It's pretty beautiful. It's stunning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll keep our minds open to it.
Keep it
Um,
in mind. Reach out anytime.
yeah. Come August, we're gonna hopefully move in together. Hopefully she moves out here or what have you. But hey, we got the rest of our lives. Even if we just come up and visit, that'd be pretty
Yeah,
sick.
you can do that too. I'd love to have you. We'll get you guys on a boat.
Yeah, I'll
Do
fly
some fly
fish.
fishing. Yeah,
Do my first fly fish.
that'd be sick.
Yeah, that would. What type of fish are you guys like? What's the main
A
fish?
lot of trout, whitefish, rainbow trout, brown trout. That's kind of what you want to get out there on the river.
Yeah, how heavy are they? Like,
They can get pretty big. I wouldn't say I've had a big catch quite yet, but I've seen like 20 inches and stuff. We want to try to make like a wall of like the biggest catch of the season and keep it
yeah.
going year round so we get like a better gauge of what the people, at least our guests, are catching.
Does the bait sit on top of the water, or is it just like flying above the water and the fish jump out of it and get it, or is it like on the water? Like, I don't. I've
No, it's like
always been curious.
you got your bobber or your indicator that they would want me to call it sitting on the water, and then your fly is kind of underneath the water. So you want to like get it into a drift so that it kind of flows and everything, and the fishy can just catch it. If there's any fly fishers listening out there, don't judge me. I'm really not that smart with the terminology and everything.
That's okay, Kelsey. I have no idea. I'm just trying to get just some information on it out of you because because I always see the guys just like they're swinging it back and forth like a lasso, like it's just always
Yeah. Mhm.
unmoving. So that's where I'm
It
like, is it flying above the ocean or above the water? Or
No,
I was
it's
just
not. It's just,
confused.
I mean, it is as you're doing your back cast and stuff, but that's really just to get you in a drift to just reset, and
Yeah,
everything. So,
cool. Yeah, more you know.
the more you know.
For some reason I thought it was a fly, like I thought it was above the water and they were jumping out.
Well, you being out in California, right there off that coast, there's tons of flying fish. Like the trout will jump maybe 2 inch above the water, but I remember being in California, even on the ferry, you see flying fish all the time, and they jump like a good 6 feet above the water. So I get what your thought process there.
Yeah, are you talking about the fish that have little wings?
Yeah, those are so cool.
Those are cool.
I
What
love those.
what a freaking awesome fish. I bet
Yes,
that
they're
fish
so
though,
sick.
they probably like look like birds to birds, so it might be a good
Maybe.
defensive mechanism. I don't know. Sounds awesome. Um, yeah. Well, I don't really have any other questions in mind. I mean, the only thing I had written down was to see if you had any other questions for me. But
I I think
trying,
we've covered it. I'm glad to hear you and Michaela are doing well. I'd love to see you guys sometime.
yeah, I'd love to visit you. Like, and if you're ever down here visiting your friends from Catalina, or if that ever happens, or you're more than welcome to stop by and we can link up or do something. Maybe get Cody involved and
Yeah,
Val.
it's crazy. All in within the span of like 50 miles. I think it's you, Val, Cody, and Matt. So there's plenty of reasons to go out there.
Yeah, and vice versa. It could be great for me and Michaela to go check out your ranch and learn about fly fishing. So
Oh yeah,
be awesome.
anytime.
Well, thanks for being on the pod and picking up the phone and being down to record and helping me out with my portfolio.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a wrap on this episode then.
All right, thanks so much, JP.
Yeah. Well, I'll catch you later. It was great to talk to you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thanks.
Yeah. Peace.